Hi friends, welcome back to Wealth Wednesday. Today, let's break down the question I keep on getting all the time. How much do I need to retire comfortably? This is something that I keep on getting from my clients, from, all the time they come from the coaching sessions once we delve in retirement. And so here are some of the step-by-step ways on how you can retire comfortably and plan for that retirement. That is, you are thinking it's so far, yet it's so close than we think. So I'll start with what is a comfortable retirement? Well, this question comes in, but it all depends with what you comfortable retirement means according to you. For different people, it can be, do you want to a quiet life in the village or travel the world? Do you want to live in your own home or continue renting down? Or do you want to have dependents that you've sorted in terms of educares and all that? Basically, do you want to start your passion project or to fully retire without having any projects in mind? When it comes to answering the word comfortable retirement, it all depends on you and your needs. So let's delve in. When you look at the retirement that you want to have, what's that income that is coming to your mind? So I'll take an example as 100,000, for example. You want to retire and every month to be getting 100,000 as your income. So here is the rule, the 25 rule. I want you to take a pen and paper, write that income that you have written. For me, I've gone with 100,000. So the 25 rule states like this. Take the 100,000, multiply it by 12, because every month you'll want to be having 100,000. But for the year, you multiply by 12. Then the rule comes in, multiply that number by 25. For me, for the 100,000, multiply by 12 is 1.2. But the 1.2 million, if I multiply by 25, I need to retire with 30 million. That's the number that will make the comfortable retirement. So if it's maybe 50,000 will come to about 15 million. So have you written it down? So that means you will be needing to start saving for that figure that you have gotten it there down as from now. And now, how do we break it? Let me break it and come to realistically in terms of age. If at all your reach is maybe the 30 million that I have used as an example, now let's look at, if you're 25, how much do you need to keep on investing every month? And I will use, for compounding, I'll use compounding interest, and I'll use 10% as the annual return. And I'll use 60 years as your retirement goal, the year that you're planning to retire. So if you're 25, or thereabout, maybe to say 23 to 28 Apple, you need to keep on putting aside 8,000 Kenya shillings, because you will retire in the next 35 years, right? So if you put aside 8,000, that comes to a close to 3.3 million as your principal. But the power of compounding comes in. At the time you're coming to 60 and you've been putting aside the 8,000, utakuwa umeretire na your 30 million. At least now you're sure your retirement will be comfortable depending on what you want. But like I said, take the goal, multiply by 12, multiply by 25, your goal, that is your goal for your retirement. If you're 35, now this is now where the catch is. And time takes all our value and our money. If you're 35, you need to keep on saving like 20,000. And if you save 20,000, by the time you retire, you'll have that saved, you'll have put aside 6 million as your principal. But with compounding, at least you'll come closer to your goal. It will be around 27 million. That's the power of compounding. But now let's see, if you're in your 40s, if you're 45, you need to keep aside 55,000 Kenya shillings for you to get slightly closer to 30 million. If you put aside 55 million, if you're 45 years, because that one will have given you like a limit of 15 years, you will have, your principal will be around 13 million, but compounding will take you a notch higher to 23 million. But out of my numbers, what I'm trying to say is the earlier you start, the better. Because if you started with, let me even go a notch higher and look at even 3,000. If you're age 25 and you start putting aside 3,000 for your retirement, it means at the end of when you get to 60 years, you'll have at least gotten like around 11.5 million, and your principal will only have grown up to 1.2. That's the power of compounding. And I keep on insisting we need to start saving and investing early, so that at least we can enjoy that benefit of compounding. If you're in your 30s like me, and we are putting aside 3,000 Kenya shillings, it means our principal will be around 900 by the time we turn 60. But unfortunately, we won't enjoy that high return in terms of compounding, because our compounding will get to 4 million. But it's better than nothing. So start now, where regardless of where you are. If you're 45 and putting aside 3,000, you will have accumulated around 500,000, but your retirement will have around 1.2. For me, the encouragement is the earlier you start, the less you need to have stress when it comes to empowerment. And also, let's embrace and enjoy the power of compounding. Okay? So where do you start investing this amount of money? That's another question that I keep getting. Jen, it's long term. So where do you suggest that we start investing our pensions? First is, you can have an individual pension plan. You can open with one of the companies that you think is doing good or is good with customer service. At least have an individual pension plan where you can be depositing that money. And most of the companies, they always give the compound interest rates. So sometimes it ranges from 10 to 12, 11, 13, depending on the company that you choose. But please don't choose a company that has lower interest rate, because at the end of it all, you see, it's long term. We need to beat inflation, and at least you need somewhere that is way beating inflation in terms of the returns. You can even invest in real estate. There are people who would rather prefer investing in real estate, and as long as if you start saving and investing in that real estate, and the rental income comes in, and the rental income is coming in as the 100,000, the 50,000, that's also good enough. You can also do unit trust or mutual funds depending on your goal. You can do an infrastructure bond. Kwanza, that one at least you'll enjoy free taxations in terms of, in case you're doing a long-term bond, and you will be able to enjoy the free taxation and good returns. You can also do dividend-paying stocks. And the moment your dividend comes in, remember to plow it back. Or even you can be a risk taker and do business or side hustle, and at least the income that keeps on coming in, you keep on putting aside. The goal here is to build as many multiple income streams that you won't rely on, or rather you'll not rely working for your salary when it comes to retirement, because the income will keep on coming. Don't forget this. Yes, you have set aside your retirement money and the comfortable retirement money that you need, but there are other very main key considerations when it comes to retirement. Plan for your medical cover during your retirement, because most of us are employed, but after employment, your medical cover uko nayo itaisha. So the earlier the better that you start planning for that cover. And most of when we get to retirement, and even you can ask your parents, or we even pay for our parents, right? The covers become so expensive. But kama ulikuwa umeanza mapema, you can have aside an inpatient cover for just your own or your family that doesn't have to be that expensive, so that when it comes to retirement, the cover still continues. Then you need to be debt-free before retirement. Please, 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 as much as we keep on getting these long-term debts, like mortgages, like construction loans, business loans, at least plan yourself in such a way that when you're getting closer to retirement, you're done with debts. You don't want to get to your 60s na bado uko na stress za loans. At least that is the time to enjoy your golden years without anyone knocking at the door or anyone expecting a payment from you for loan. But if you have somewhere that will be paying that loan, it's okay. That one you can continue. Like if it's a business and it's a business loan and it's sorting itself, it's okay. But let's try as much as we can not to. Then have a will and a legacy plan. You can either have a will or plan for legacy planning. In the coming weeks, I'll do another video and extend and talk about legacy planning and what it all entails in terms of, you hear people having trust funds, what it entails. But at least before retirement, have a will and have a or you can have a legacy plan. But for me, I will go for a legacy. If you can, try having a legacy plan for your resources. Then keep on reviewing and plan every year. See how your retirement is growing. And if there is need, if you have an IPP in a certain company and you feel like it's not working, you can transfer it and open another one so that at least you see the value for your money. Because why should you be in a company that is giving you low money? No. And always remember, the moment you transfer jobs, keep on transferring your pension to that individual account that you have. Don't leave it to your former employer. I had a scenario for a client. Now this is story time. So what happened? He had moved like 4 jobs and now he was getting to retirement. Do you know 2 of those companies already closed down? One closed down, one relocated out of Kenya. But unfortunately, he was not able to trace his pension because like the company that went bankrupt, where are you getting now? The people asking them, oh, I had pension with you. So the moment you just move like this from that job, both your contribution and your employer's contributions, transfer them to that individual account so that upon retirement, it will be so easy for you to have to know like this is the amount of money I'm expecting during retirement. And there are some people who choose to withdraw their part of their retirement. Even if you withdraw, follow up with your HR or your former HR to make sure the contributions for your employer has gone to your IPP. And if you need help, contact us and we will guide you and educate you more on how to transfer your pensions and also give you a list on the companies that you can choose from and that will relate with your goals. If this has helped you, comment in terms of retirement, give this video a thumbs up and comment below, Jane, I'm starting with. Tell me the amount that you're starting with on the comments below per month. And let's make and plan for our retirement intentionally. Let's hold each other accountable. For me, if you come to me, I will always keep on reminding you when it comes to retirement and see your progress and how you're continuing with your retirement. Subscribe and turn on that notifications. I'm Jen, your money and finance coach and investment coach and your accountability partner. Let's retire smart, free, and wealthy.